What's going on, guys? So in this video we're going to continue on with our research methods section. We're going to be focusing on different types of sampling. So let's look at some sampling methods. But first we need to define what sampling is. So sampling involves selecting individuals or groups from a population to study behaviors, attitudes or characteristics. And this ensures that research can be conducted efficiently while maintaining generalizability. Because we know in psychology it's all about generalizable results. Unless we're looking at a case study, of course. If you're not sure what that is, look at the previous video. So some key terms. The population. The population is the entire group a researcher is interested in. And a sample of that is a subset of the population used for the study. A representative sample reflects the characteristics of the population. And our sampling frame is the actual list or database of individuals from which that sample is drawn. Yeah, so it kind of narrows it down. There are different types of sampling. We've got random sampling, opportunity sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling. We're going to look at each one of those in detail as the video continues. So of course we've got volunteers. What is a volunteer? We should know what a volunteer is just through general knowledge, but a volunteer is a participant who self-selects, but may lead to sampling bias if we only focus on volunteers, a volunteered population. So these are people that will be overly motivated participants, and this again can lead to sampling bias. So let's look at these in a little more detail, starting off with random sampling. So how's random sampling done? Well, every individual in the population has an equal chance of being selected. This is often done using a random number generator or drawing names from a hat. For example, you could use a computer to randomly select 100 students from a list of all students in the school. The strengths of this method is that it helps to reduce bias and it is likely to produce a representative sample. The weakness of this methodology is that it can be very time consuming and it requires a complete list of the population. Opportunity sampling, also known as convenience sampling. Now this is done when participants are chosen based on who is readily available and willing to take part. So that might be like a teacher or a lecturer selecting psychology students because they are easily accessible to them. An example of this may also be asking people in a nearby shopping mall to complete a survey. Strengths of this method is that it's quick and easy. It's also quite cost effective. Weaknesses is that there is a high risk of bias and it is not representative of the wider population. Systematic sampling. Now systematic sampling is done when you select every nth person from a list after randomly choosing a starting point. Strengths of this method is that it reduces researcher bias and it is pretty straightforward to implement. Weaknesses is that it can still be unrepresentative if there's a hidden pattern within the list. It also requires access to an ordered list of participants. Stratified sampling. This is when you divide the population into subgroups or strata based on characteristics, things such as age, gender, then randomly sample from each subgroup in proportion to their size in the population. An example of this might be if 60% of a school is female and 40% are male, selecting a sample of 60 females and 40 males from that respective group. Strengths of this methodology is that it is very representative. It also ensures key subgroups are included. Weaknesses is that again it can be very time consuming and it requires detailed knowledge of the population's characteristics. Alright guys, hopefully that brief video gave you guys a little bit of a better understanding of different types of sampling methods. Again, rewind, slow down any bits that you get a bit stuck on to help with your revision. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next one. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.